Hey, what's going on everyone? Entering Infinity here. Today I'm back with a brand new video where I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, where I'm going to be ranking Ash's team from his battle with Cynthia in order from 6 being the worst to number 1 being the best on his team based on their performance in that battle alone. Given that the anime is going to be on break for the next few weeks, which is filler episodes, I figured I would do something different and fun, and this was something that I thought of and I thought it would be fun to do and kind of compare and see what everyone else thought as well. So before I jump into my list, I want to just again warn before we go that this video will contain spoilers of the battle between Ash and Cynthia. So if you've not seen that battle yet and you don't want to get spoiled, this is your warning to click away now before we go ahead and just jump right into my rankings. Alrighty, so this is the template that I'll be using. It has 1 through 6 and we'll be starting at the bottom like I said and going 6 in reverse order and work our way up to number 1. You'll see there's this area for KOs and an area for assists. It's pretty straightforward. The KOs represent the Pokemon that they actually knocked out, and then the assists represent Pokemon that they dealt damage to on Cynthia's team, but another Pokemon ultimately picked up the KO for. So this is what I mostly factored into this list, and there's certain other things that I just had to make calls on, but ultimately this is what I was going for with this video. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So it breaks my soul to say it, but at number 6 has to be Dragonite. I don't think that anybody can dispute that. It picked up no knockouts against Cynthia's team, and it didn't even end up dealing any damage to any Pokemon on her team. The only attack that it got off was a Draco Meteor into the Spiritomb, but ultimately the Spiritomb just healed back all of that damage with 3 Dream Eaters that it used to knock out the Dragonite. So ultimately Ash's Dragonite dealt no damage to her and picked up no KOs, and I think it's undisputed that Dragonite was unfortunately the weakest link on his team in this episode, and again it just absolutely breaks my soul to say that because Dragonite should be much higher up on this list. Coming in at number 5, I have Gengar. So Gengar didn't actually pick up any KOs in this battle, but it did actually get 2 assists in that it damaged the Spiritomb with the Dazzling Gleam attack that it did, and it also hit the Roserade for some damage. It hit it with the Shadow Ball, and it also got a little bit of burn damage on it. So it did end up picking up 2 assists. That's why it earned itself the number 5 spot, but given that it didn't pick up any knockouts, I couldn't justify it any higher on this list. Coming in at number 4 was Dracovish. So Dracovish ultimately got 1 KO and 1 assist. It finished off the Roserade that Gengar had assisted it with, and it also put some meaningful damage onto Cynthia's Milotic, which was ultimately knocked out by another Pokemon on this team, so it did get an assist for that, and for that reason I have it at the number 4 slot. It definitely did a good job, gave it its all, and was definitely a meaningful part of Ash's team, and secured the number 4 spot on my list. Now, the next 2 spots honestly could have gone either way in my opinion. It was a complete toss-up, but I had to pick one, so I could see this one going either way in anyone else's list. But I have coming in at number 3 is Pikachu, and Pikachu ended up getting 2 knockouts, which was tied for first on the team, but it got no assists, and the first knockout that it got was against the Gastrodon, which was extremely impressive given that Gastrodon has immunity to Pikachu's electric attacks, but it still was clever enough to knock out the Gastrodon from full health without even taking any damage, which was extremely impressive. And it also picked up a knockout against Cynthia's Spiritomb, which was an absolute menace to Ash's team, which is why I think you can make the argument for also getting the number 2 spot, but here I have it at number 3. So Pikachu absolutely killed it, and unfortunately got cheesed with that Destiny Bond, but ultimately put in a great showing before it got taken out and earned itself the number 3 spot here. Coming in at number 2, which was again the arguable position to be switched with Pikachu, but I have Sirfetch'd at number 2, and Sirfetch'd picked up the knockout against Cynthia's Milotic, which is one of her most powerful Pokemon, as well as getting some really meaningful damage against Cynthia's Garchomp, which is what made me give it the edge over Pikachu, even though it technically got less KOs. That damage onto that Garchomp was really impressive, and it ultimately led to Ash's victory in that battle, so I couldn't just discount that fact that it did that. And also, not only did it do that, but it also cleared out the stealth rocks from the field, which ultimately paved the way for the rest of the battle for Lucario to come in. So I think Sirfetch'd's contribution was immeasurable, and that's why I slightly edged it out in the number 2 spot on this list. So coming in at number 1 should be no surprise. I think this would be the number 1 on anybody's list, but it is Lucario / Mega Lucario. You know, he was Ash's ace in this battle. He fought against Cynthia's Togekiss, which ultimately Dynamaxed, and it managed to even knock out the Dynamax Pokemon, and then it went on to take on the Garchomp and ended up knocking out Garchomp, which in and of itself was a historic moment because I believe it was the first time in anime history that a Pokemon has knocked out Cynthia's Garchomp. Her Garchomp is one of the most powerful Pokemon we've ever seen in the anime, and that accomplishment alone, even if it did nothing else, was worthy of the #1 spot in this list. He was an absolute monster. He pulled through. His aura bond with Ash was incredible, and he helped Ash do the unthinkable and seal the underdog story and have Ash be the reason why he defeated Cynthia and is going on to face Leon in the finals. So yeah, this is my list. I'm curious what everyone else thinks. Do you agree with my list? Do you have a different list? Let's all be respectful, but I would be really curious to see what your list is. So put it in the comment section down below, 1 to 6 like I did, and let me know what your list is or if you agree with mine. And yeah, so I'll also be doing another video like this that'll be coming out to rank Cynthia's team for how they battled against Ash's teams. I think that would be fun since, like I said, we have a couple weeks of a break in the anime with these filler episodes, so I'll be doing her team as well. So if you stayed till the end, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed the video, do me a huge favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you all in the next one.